Welcome to Clearcoat Confessions, where the dirt gets hunted down and the shine hits like a knockout. From beat-up daily drivers to weekend showstoppers, we're breaking down the art of clean, one panel at a time. Detailing tips, insider tricks, and the kind of passion that doesn't wash off. So pull up, tune in, and let's make that ride look dangerous again.
All opinions expressed on Clearcoat Confessions are those of the hosts and do not reflect the views of any affiliates or sponsors.
All right. Hey, welcome to Clearcoat Confessions, podcast number 3. We decided to go and have an unscheduled podcast, open discussion. We were just talking about what we might bring up, and we're open to anything at this point. In the garage tonight, we've got myself, Adamo, Franco, Fernando, Vice, Super Dave, Ricardo, and Stay Wet Car Fresh, Frankie. So, fellas, how's everybody's weekends been?
Can't complain.
Good.
Good.
This is how it goes. This is how it goes in the Discord conversations that we have too. Yeah.
Start off with nothing, and then we're there for hours.
I worked.
You know,
I worked this weekend. Let's go right next to Greg. Well, Greg, how was your weekend?
oh, it was a blast. We can get into it more of it later, but it was a lot of driving. I think I got back about 6:30, 6:45 last night. I left Pocatello at about 8 o'clock, which is 7 o'clock Pacific time. So it was about 11-hour drive. Had some dinner, and I think I crashed by 9:15 or so. I was out until this morning. It was a fun 4 days, 3 or 4 days, however long I was there. But those guys worked every single day until 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. It was amazing. Filming, practicing, they were testing some things, and it was wild. That's it here. Adamo.
Yeah, it's been a hell of a week. I've been on hold most of the day with trying to solve a few problems with some of my cameras. So when you guys popped in, I just hung up and I said, let's get her done. So that's about it. So.
Oh yeah, everybody in the chat. We got like 10 people popped up in the chat. Everybody say hello to Ricardo.
What's
Hello,
up, everybody?
Ricardo.
Super Dave.
Ricardo, and we got Leppy. We got Leppy in the house tonight.
Yo.
I should have worn my hat tonight, Frankie.
It's all right.
And
Bob
Vice.
wore your hat. Bob wore your hat on the ChemX video.
So who's next?
All right.
David, what'd you do today?
Today was the day for the family. I did lawn work and did chores. Yesterday was my work, and then I detailed the car till 1 a.m. So we did a nice brand new 2026 BMW M4.
Oh,
She came out great, Dave. She came out great.
Thank you. Yeah.
I don't think I can get that close to one. Those things are nice. Way above my price.
Yep. I don't want to hear about anybody's day. What are we gonna talk about tonight? What are we gonna let's talk some detailing.
All right.
What else are we doing tonight?
Yeah. What else are we doing? So what about, did anybody do any coatings this weekend? Put any coatings on, or this past week, and posted videos?
Well, I don't post any videos, I think everybody knows.
Come on.
Let me posted a couple of shorts.
Yeah, I mostly worked with the new Katiba, the Thai. Was it the Thai wax?
Thai slick.
Thai slick. Yeah.
So I
was in the house.
Friday afternoon, I applied the porcelain, the new Katiba porcelain wax to the blazer. Haven't had a chance to test the hybrid. You know what? Easy on, easy off. In fact, I threw it on early in the morning before I went to work. Again, easy on. And then I left it all day till I came back after work and took it off. And so 8 hours, nothing to take it off. Haven't tested the hydrophobics or anything like that. But I was surprised. Not a lot of slickness. But again, they don't talk about it. They just talk about the hydrophobics and, of course, the protection for the coating. But like I said, the application in and of itself was easy on, easy off.
If you watch Pristine Auto Lab, he just released a video this weekend of back when SEMA 2025, when they first announced the porcelain wax, all the stuff that they released at the House of Rags this week. They actually showed it going on and off and all that stuff, and all the hydrophobics. So if you want to see a good shot of the hydrophobics, check out Jackson's video. It's really nice.
On and the CEO there.
Yeah, Kang was there. Yeah.
And,
Yep. Yeah, I saw that. I watched that earlier, actually.
Yeah, that wax. It's
Dude,
so good, like it's not even funny. So
it is insane, and that was the porcelain wax.
Yeah, the porcelain.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, I've got the porcelain wax. Eddie sent me the little red bottle, the liquid wax. The Katiba, he sent me the porcelain, the Vanguard, and then the Fireball porcelain or whatever it's called, Fireball.
Nice.
Did I hear somebody say something about Tie Slick?
Yeah. Say what?
That was Frankie. He used Tie Slick this weekend.
Yeah. Eddie's asking how it was.
Oh, it was amazing. The smell. It smells like that Hawaiian tropic suntanny lotion, and I love that stuff.
Ooh, I actually love that smell.
Yeah.
You used it in the sun?
Yes, I did. I detail outside, so and it did perfect. And I used it as a drying aid, and I used it as a standalone, and they both worked perfectly. No issues whatsoever in the sun this weekend. And it was about like 89 degrees out this weekend.
Damn it.
Over here.
I didn't want to buy more stuff. Come on, stop it, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's all right, but I just ordered 2 bottles of Easy Up. So I was like, oh man, but hey, Easy Up's good too. So yeah, I got mine right here too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chingy was saying, Chingy was telling what Nick, by the way, hi, Nick, Eddie, Jamie. I'm sure Jamie's here, but he's probably walking or pacing. Let me say pacing around the garage, picking things up, putting things into a cabinet, pulling things out of a cabinet, throwing things away.
Yeah, we've seen him go in behind everybody, back and forth.
Wiping down hoses and shit like that.
Yeah. So we got a comment in here from Chingy. Chingy, I don't see you in here yet, so he still must be out, but telling Nick that we've got a lot of people using the Yum Detailer in the rinse style.
And yeah, happy birthday to Jamie.
That's right. Hey, you guys ready? We're going to sing that happy birthday, right?
All right.
Uh-oh.
You ready?
Y'all ready?
On 3?
I don't know about all that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
3, 2, 1.
1.
Happy
birthday to you.
Oh, bad. Happy birthday.
Scratch that.
Dear Jamie the cleaner, happy birthday, dear Jamie.
Happy birthday.
We're going to stop this right now.
Hey, we need to practice this.
Is it over?
Everybody's birthday, and we're going to sing happy birthday.
I think we broke microphones and everything across the.
Oh shit! I can hear the dogs down the street barking, man.
That is the first and last time we'll be singing happy birthday on this podcast.
Or singing at all.
It was a happy birthday.
Yeah, and also happy birthday to Rick Smith. It is his birthday as well.
And Rick Smith.
Rick Smith.
We got to do it again.
No, we don't.
That's why
just went way the hell down.
We don't sing.
Yeah. We can't quit our day jobs.
So sorry.
No,
that's hilarious.
Well, some of us have quit our day jobs.
We may have contributed to the worst birthday both of those guys had ever.
Sorry, Greg.
I think it worked out though.
Traveling YouTubers.
I think it worked out because I think it's copyrighted. I think the birthday song, like we were about to get sued. So
I heard restaurants they switch it up because they gotta pay that copyright.
Yeah.
I can hear.
Oh no!
I can hear Eddie laughing.
Well, good thing we were bad. All right, so you got a couple products we talked about. So Ricardo, I did want to ask you. I posted you I think yesterday or today you went to a Cars and Coffee, right?
Yes, this morning. Yep.
Yeah, and the one question I have is I've been to a Cars and Coffee in the local town here. It's called Sherwood, and when I went, the cars were really. Most of the cars, I should say, were really dirty. It didn't look like very many people were washing their cars and getting them nice and clean and shiny. How was it where you were at today?
So you know what? It's funny. We had a few show cars, and of course, those were show cars. They showed up, clean, shiny, opened up the hoods, showing off the engine compartments. But I was surprised today. We had a lot of. And I guess they combined it. So the local detail shop combined it, and they kind of had the test panel set out, and they were letting people try some of the new polishers coming out, some of the new polishes. So there was several of the guys that showed up in their mobile detail rigs, and surprised the hell out of me. There was some really dirty mobile detail rigs. And it's like, I was going to say, isn't that like your mobile billboard? Don't you want that to look decent?
Yeah.
So that was a little surprising. And I thought of you because I read your comment. I didn't have time to respond, but I read your comment and I was like, just like Greg was talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. That was pretty wild. I couldn't believe it. So we've got Guardian Auto Detailing asking, what was up with Jamie tidying up random stuff for no reason in the background? Well, there was definitely some reasons for it. He was just keeping everything nice and tight and clean because you never know what angle the camera's going to be at. And also, I know I only met him the other day, earlier this week, but that's just the way he is. He doesn't stop. He doesn't stop doing anything. Am I right, Nick and Eddie? Well, you guys don't stop either, but Jamie wouldn't stop cleaning at all.
Adderall will do that to you. I mean, energy drinks.
Yes. So I got back late last night, about 6:15 or 6:45. And like I was saying earlier, when we were backstage, I crashed about 9:15. But I did get up this morning and give Chris's car a nice wash. Because I could not believe how many bugs were all over that thing. What's that?
It's just the beginning of the season.
Yeah. Yeah. Just the beginning of the season. Pardon me?
Which vehicle did you take?
I took my son's Subaru. Because I got two cars, the Acura and the Mustang. The Mustang is, I know what you guys are going to say, but the Mustang, I'm waiting for a part to come in. I could drive it still, but I didn't want to. And the Acura has 386,000 miles on it. And I think the transmission's out. I'm find out on Tuesday, I think. So I'll definitely have to get something else. But yeah, that's just the way Jamie is. I mean, Eddie and Nick, you can comment in the comments just saying, yeah, that's just the way he is. Right. So yeah, I did that for him. Then Debbie's sister came into town and he came over and picked the car up. Of course, he didn't say anything about how nice it looked. He just got in it and loaded things up and left.
Ain't that something? You do something nice back for the favor, and they don't even say something nice back to you. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, that's okay. Got a grandbaby coming in August. He'll make up for it then. Yeah.
So, Greg, you seem to be one of the few people that have tested the new Pi Car stuff. What do you think about that?
Dun, dun, dun.
So let me just start out by
that good, huh?
It's like last night when Alvin was asking me some questions. I was just too tired to answer them. Let me just say that the scents are pretty good on most of the products. If I remember right, the soaps, you really can't smell the soaps when they're in the bottle, but when they're sprayed on or foamed on, the scents are pretty wild. Yeah. I think there was a point where, you know, that car, let me just preface it. That car was bad. He hadn't washed it since I put a coating on last March or April, something, maybe May, can't remember. So he didn't wash it at all. And it's just the way he is. And, you know, I don't know why, but, I think the pie car gentleman, Bradley, was looking for more than what was happening with that, with the pre-washes that he was putting on. And, you know, all of a sudden, you know, I should have said something, but I was just trying to be quiet. And Ulysses said I need to be a little bit more boisterous about it. But Eddie jumped up and said, "Hey, what you're doing here is this is not a touchless, right?
Not a maintenance job, yeah."
Yeah, and this is definitely not a maintenance job. Eddie took the microfiber, swiped it on the back. Yeah, microfiber. Swiped that microfiber on the back of the car that hadn't been touched yet, and that thing was filthy. Swiped it on the side of the car that they just had taken care of with the pre-washes, right? And it was much cleaner. Was it clean? No, but that's the story right there. You got to do a contact wash with something like that to make those things clean. Right? Yeah. And the other thing is, you know, you're gonna see a couple extra videos, and if Eddie's on, I hope it's okay to talk about this. But they did a few things on the other side with double tapping some of the different products that Picar has, and they were really impressive. The way that they worked out. So,
you know what?
Oh, go ahead, Franco.
You know, I maybe it's just me. I don't pay attention. I'm just a spaz. But you know, what is double tapping? Anybody?
Greg?
Greg?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to do something here. Dom, I'll get rid of that comment there. So double tapping is when, let's just say you've got a citrus, spray that citrus on, right?
Yeah.
Then you've got a foam, their pre-wash foam, and spray that pre-wash foam on.
Okay. Just to help extend the dwell time of the citrus or the alkaline.
The two chemicals working together.
Yes.
And the first time you spray it, usually it's a higher strength, right? You're diluting it 10-1 out of the sprayer, and then the second one you go in with your foam cannon, which is now diluting it maybe whatever 100-1 or whatever it's.
Yeah, Sam Squatch knows what's going on here. Double tap is a perk in Call of Duty zombies.
My favorite perk was PhD flopper. If you know about that, when you dolphin dive and it basically explodes around you.
Yeah, yeah.
Double tap.
I will say
something we did in our 20s.
I will say with the pie car guys, watching it from the from a consumer watching the live streams. The first time they came down to Pocatello to introduce their first products to us, they did a much better job, I think, of coming across of like showing their stuff, like with the O2s, the go-to, all that stuff like that. He was on point, short, sweet. The chemicals worked and everything like that. But then this time around, I think they were, and this is just opinion, guys, so don't come after me. I don't think I think they spend too much time, being very repetitive. Like they spend a lot of time rinsing, and when they should just get right to the meat and potatoes and stuff. And I think that kind of hurt their the product launch. I think of the stuff on the video. In just my opinion. I mean, I'm sure the stuff is great, but it didn't come off great in the video from what I saw.
Was the first time they were in Pocatello? Was it also live streamed?
Yes, it was.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So a couple of the other products that I really like, their wheel and tire cleaner for maintenance. Those wheels were hammered, and we sprayed that stuff on. let it sit for a couple minutes, sprayed that stuff off, and that wheel was pretty darn clean. There wasn't much dirt on it at all. Their APC, we used that on the engine. I forget which engine it was. I don't know if it was. It was Chris's. That APC, I think we did a 3-to-1 mixture of it. We cleaned that engine up really well. Again, and then we used the interior. Somebody help me here. The interior wasn't the quick detailer. I can't remember what it
was. The interior dressing.
Interior dressing. Thank you, Frankie. Yeah, and that the engine looked pretty good. I didn't open the hood up again today to take a look because I ran out of time. We had people coming over and needed to get done and wrap some things up. So yeah, we've got some Picar products that I really enjoyed. Is that the new one?
No, this is the old stuff. The 01, dude, it feels like I got like rocks in a bottle right here. This is how heavy. I could beat someone senseless with this thing. It's so heavy. The 02 is decent. The only thing that was wrong, I think that was wrong with these were that they dusted a little bit when you overworked them a bit.
Yeah. And the last thing I'll say about it is I wish I had more time with Daniel. Pretty solid guy.
Daniel's a solid guy. Me and Frankie spent time with him over at the H2O event.
Yeah, and the training too. I did get some training from him on the buffing. And it's I can't wait to give it a try this spring/summer when I put my first coating on. It's just that, but I do want to try and get down there the next time something's big going on down there. I might head down and get together with Daniel for a little bit more informational training.
He's local to LA. I think he has like a bunch of detailing trucks out here.
Yeah, his detailing business is I think it's called what's it called? I forget. I'll remember it.
Hey Greg, out of the products that you tested,
Flawless Mobile Detailing.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dynamite drop in, Frankie.
Yeah.
Out of those products that you tested from Picar, was there one that stood out that he's like, I must get it, or one that you said, hey, I need to buy it so I can play around with it a little bit more because I'm intrigued? Was there one that stood out, or?
Yeah, so the wheel and tire cleaner is definitely one that I'm going to have in my.
That's the one chemical that really came across in the videos as like, you should really get this one.
Yeah, absolutely. So Alvin, you heard all that. Yeah. What were the products you liked? Alvin, did you hear what we were just talking about? I'll go over it one more time. The, was that me?
No, that's Adamo.
Sorry, guys.
Frankie, that was what the interior dressing, right?
Yeah, interior dressing.
Yeah, interior dressing.
It's called Interior Protect Dressing.
Interior Protect Dressing, APC, wheel and tire cleaner.
I thought the APC looked good because he said it was a pine scent. Usually APCs have a pretty pungent scent.
Yeah, no, this was their stuff smelled good. All their stuff smelled good. So we did talk about that. That once those soaps got sprayed on, foamed onto the car, the garage lit. The scent in the garage was pretty wild.
When he said it was pine scent, all I could think was of Pine Sol. That's all I could think of for an APC.
Yeah, that's what I was seeing in my mind as well. But yeah, no, it's a nice scent.
But other APCs that smell decent is the pineapple from Quiver for Josh V stuff. That stuff smells good. Yeah, not good, but it's okay to smell while you're working.
I heard it doesn't even smell like pineapple.
No, it does. It's got a citrus note to it, but it's not like
weird. Why would he name it pineapple? I always thought that was weird.
What does it have to do with rinseless?
I don't think it's humanly possible to make any APCs smell good. I think they all smell like crap, but one of the least crappy ones that that I've smelled lately is the Bifrost, the detail coat
Mhm.
Bifrost. That's
Yes.
pretty good stuff, but I don't use it. The only reason I use APCs is for bug removers. Yeah, just spray down the grill and let it sit. I guess, yeah, I guess double tap that, but I don't use foam that much. But it's not a bad scented Bifrost,
I
whatever.
use Bifrost on like WeatherTech mats 1 to 20.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah,
It's
that's what
pretty
I use
good.
them on too. Yeah,
I
mats and
also used it in the
bugs.
interior, like on the door cards for a really trash car.
Mhm.
It didn't foam that much, so I didn't like it that much for the interior. But on the WeatherTechs, for some reason, it foamed a lot.
Pineapple will foam like crazy if you have it diluted properly.
But I don't think Bifrost has a scent, right?
I don't think it officially has a scent. I'm actually smelling it right now, and it just smells like an APC.
At some
Just
point, one of us needs
less.
to jump in and do the disclaimer that we're not encouraging people to sniff all the chemicals.
Yeah, exactly. Sam Squats comes in and says BDE is his bug remover. I was going to do that, but I would have had to mix it up, and I was tight for time. But yeah, I enjoy BDE for bug removing. I used it last summer on the cars.
And I've used it on engines, and it does a great job. BDE and on floor mats too. On the WeatherTech stuff, it just cleans everything off of those. So that's now one of my go-tos for that kind of as an all-purpose. I haven't tried Bifrost though, but that's one of my
Bifrost is
BDE.
a lot
I
more
really like it.
dilutable.
Yeah, Franco, people are asking you to be on screen. Just so you know.
Why? That's weird. Bunch of creepers. There, you happy? You bunch of pervs. I'm a really like what we're doing now. Like we'd
He's
be
like
doing
Jamie.
this on. Yeah, I am. I'm a fidgety dude, man. If we were just talking and having a good time on the Discord, just a big conference call, just having a good time talking smack. Yeah, I'd be all over the house. So that's basically what I'm doing now. Like when you see me blink my screen, I'm just messing around. Yeah.
Franco would be sometimes doing stuff around his, house. I'm doing rinselesses half the time, and like,
Half the
we're
time,
always
all the time.
all the time. Yeah, we're always doing something. So we're trying to be multitasking here.
So let me ask you guys a question.
Uh-oh.
What is your go-to tire dressing?
Guardian. I can't remember the last time I used anything but Guardian. I've gone through three and a half 16-ounce bottles. Yeah.
I tried
I'm going to blow up
Guardian,
the
and I didn't like it that
conversation.
much.
I'm going to blow up the conversation because I love Hands V1, the solvent based, and I love it because
That's a good one.
yeah, I throw it on there and I apply it once a month, and I can do the weekly or bi-weekly washes and just kind of clean it up. It leaves that nice dark look after that initial. And again, like I said, I'm just putting it on once a month, and it's lasting.
Yeah.
And
Okay, well, before somebody else says their go-to dressing, just real quick, when you do your monthly or your weekly washes where you're not going to apply it again, how do you clean your tires? Just rinse off, or what do you do?
talking to me, Franco?
Yeah.
So like for the initial, so like I said, because I've kept it up, and that's pretty much what I use. So for the initial, I went at it. I think if I remember right, I used Maniac, probably at like a 3-to-1, cleaned it up. And I think I even used Ulex just to kind of clean the tires completely before I put it on. And then, like I said, since then, it's been just a maintenance. Once a month, I'll reapply, and it's kept it nice. Again, it's not. I'll knock it down though, because it is kind of shiny. So when I apply it, I do come back after the 10-minute flash and knock it down with a microfiber.
Oh, okay.
Is that what you put on the truck?
Yes.
Okay. How about you, Greg? Sorry.
No, go ahead, Greg. Go ahead.
I've been using Yum Dress is on the Mustang, and the 240 as well. And what I've noticed with that, and Nick has talked about this in a couple of his videos, especially his Easter egg videos, is that you get to a point where the Yum Dress has soaked enough into the tire because it's more of a moisturizer. It's keeping the tire pretty well moisturized, and after about 3 or 4 weeks of that, I will cut that if I'm continuing to wash that to 1-to-1, and I will apply it on 1-to-1. Which is great. So I've got my standard neat bottle, and I've got a 1-to-1 that I use. So let's just say on the Mustang that we keep it running all the summer long. And I would say if I start washing that by mid-May, by mid-June, 3 to 4 weeks, it'll be a 1-to-1 going forward after that.
Okay.
And Davey? So I got props. I mixed it up because I got like so many cars here, but my go-tos lately has been GT tire serum. But I just noticed because Jeff sent me some of his Jimbo's line after he did the testing on it. It looks awfully a lot like tire serum, so that's why I've been using it, and it works pretty much just like tire serum.
Does it have that blue tracer? Does it have that blue tracer?
I think it does. Yes, it does.
And
And
it's white labeled. You heard it here first. White labeled.
hey, I do not say anything of the sort, but it's very possible. I also love using Yum. I use that a lot as well, especially on my Lexus. And when I want just like a water base that's super easy, shine supply, decked out, I do this one, I think 2-to-1 for a satin look. It looks very nice. And it usually lasts like a couple weeks. And that's like what I would like to use if I want to, like, one wash, just do it again the next wash if I was going to do that. But all the other ones, the Yum and the tire serums, they usually last, close to a month if I take care of them.
What's the finish like on the Jimbos?
Yeah, I haven't heard many people talk about it.
Yeah, I mean,
I haven't heard nobody talk about it.
It's just like GT tire serum. Like, so if you go straight, it'll come out like a satin plus. And if you want the gloss look, just wait 20 minutes and just go over it again, and you'll get that super glossy look. So, but if you want to cut it down, you can cut it down as well, like 1-to-1, and you can get like a more OEM look.
Fernando, okay. Let's hear your dressing of choice there, buddy.
I've been with Guardian for a while. I mean, I got a gallon of that stuff, and I am just going through it. But I've also started playing around with Fenrir. I started using that because I got a couple of bottles of that, and I like it. It's not. I know
Don
a lot
used
of
it today, and he said he liked it.
And I used it on engines, diluted 5-to-1, and it did a great job. Right after like 2 to 3 months, I did notice that, like, when you use Motorplast, there's like nothing left. It doesn't stick to it, right? Nothing sticks to it, the dust. But I noticed with Fenrir, after 3 months, 2-3 months, it started accumulating a little bit more than what you would see with Motorplast. And then I started playing around with ADS Tire Plus too. So
that stuff is good.
That one's good too.
Yeah.
And then I just got the tire serum from GT. So I'm going to be trying that pretty soon.
So for now, do you use Fenrir on the tires or just like on plastics?
Just tires.
Okay, so let me ask you something, because I used it for the first time last week, and it felt like the more I worked it in, the more it was like super grabby with the brush. Did you notice that, or is that just like with me? I'm just curious. I don't know if it was the product or if it was just me.
And I don't use a brush. I go with a sponge. So what I do is I go get a dollar store sponge, because that way I can pitch it. I don't mind pitching that right afterwards, right?
Gotcha.
And I started that when I started using pants, the V1, because it was ruining the pads that I had, like the nubby. So I started buying those dollar store sponges, and then using that to apply it. And then when I was done, throw it away.
That's a good idea with black velvet, by the way. Get like some cheap ass sponges that you can use and just throw away, because this will destroy anything else.
And if Eddie, you're gonna do that,
go ahead, Fernando.
Well, I got the ones with the Brillo pad on the back of it, right? And I tried taking it off, and now I leave it on because it adds rigidity to the sponge as you're going through it, and you won't damage the wheel if you're careful enough. And I mean, there's enough foam on there that you're not touching the wheel with it. So just be careful, but it adds that rigidity as you're going along. So my recommendation, if you're going to try something like that, leave the scouring pad on there. Yeah.
Yeah. And real quick, so Corey,
I have the Temu special. I buy like these in a friggin', I think a 5-pack for like $5 or something like that.
I love those so much. Those are the best on the planet. I don't know why y'all use anything else. It's so stupid.
They're the only problem is like low profile tires. I need like to cut these in half or something, because they
gotta
get
park your. Oh yeah.
I know what you mean about parking it up on a ramp or mat. Yeah.
What were you saying, Greg?
I was just saying that Corey is.
You're muted, Greg.
No, he's not muted.
No, yeah,
I can hear him.
I got him. Yeah.
I was just saying that Corey doesn't like doing tires, so he's going to switch to doing the Fine Labs black velvet on every car. I picked up a bottle of that during the sales a few months ago, so I'll probably put that on the big tires on the Highlander, because I don't want to clean those that often as well.
I got some too. I need to test it out.
I'm gonna have to back out and come back in, because I'm not hearing Greg at all.
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
I hear everybody else, by the way. Yeah, so I'll back out and come back in.
Go ahead.
Okay. And Vice, what are you rocking on your tires? Did we do Vice yet?
Mine is kind of a controversial pick. I think I mentioned it to someone and they told me they didn't like it, but I've been using this bad boy.
What?
Katiba.
Katiba? Really?
Yeah, I really like Katiba. I am, what's it called? Ricardo was talking about how he liked the solvent dressing. This is my first solvent tire dressing that I've used, and I really like it. And I don't think it really gives much of a glossy look. It's more of a satin, which I kind of prefer. But it's really easy to put on, really easy to, mark it down if it's too glossy for you. That's been my go-to. But when, I don't like the customer that much, or, I need to put on something cheaper, I use Guardian, but I'm not the biggest fan of Guardian in my opinion.
Really? Why not?
I've only tried it diluted though, so I haven't tried it undiluted.
I've got it 1-to-1 right now. I'm rocking the hell out of it.
You said one thing about the Katiba tire dressing, that it's easy to spread. I agree with you. The rest, it leaves a perfect finish. What applicator are you using?
I'm using like the auto fiber, like mini ones, that it kind of has like the bug scrubber on the one side and then like a twisted loop on the other.
Is it microfiber? Because I've been using a brush and I have a hard time spreading the Katiba tire dressing. Otherwise,
it's like a microfiber.
I'll try that.
But I really like
What's up,
it's
Slick?
Super easy to spread.
How's it going?
Well, how are you doing?
I know I just popped in late.
No, everybody's welcome.
Out of the blue.
All right, your turn. What's your favorite tire dressing?
Ooh, I'm gonna have to go with the Geon line. I can't lie, you guys. Like both of them, the Tire and Tire Express are phenomenal. They react well with water, so when you spread them onto the tire, they just like mix well and they spread real nice. And they both get this just like great finish. I don't need to wipe much off afterwards. The Geon dressings, they've got to be some of my favorite. Plus, they come with those real nice the pump handles that you can just pump a little bit onto the applicator and make it so easy. What's going on, guys? I see you in the chat.
I hate
Yeah, so
the Geon pump thing. By the way, that thing breaks almost every single
I'm
time.
right there with you. I love Geon products, the ones I've tried, but
Yeah, I
the
love their
pumps
products,
can
but
need the
yeah,
pumps off.
that pump can kiss my ass.
a quick question from Dark
Yeah, I love
Dragon.
the
He's wondering how taxing it was for those long lives and filming sessions. Did the guys have to keep switching their energy on and off while on screen and off screen? No, those guys are like up here all the time. From the time that I got there in the morning until the time I left, which was around midnight on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday nights, they were on the entire time.
Except
Then
when
it was
they had
kind of like,
a crash with the energy drinks, though. They had a few
yeah,
lows in the day.
that was before I got there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of like, meals. Okay, it's midnight. Got to go. Bye.
Go to bed. Bye.
Yep. Yeah. Hey, thanks for joining, Slick. Appreciate it.
Of course, man. Of course.
Oh, for the people at home, some different types of applicators besides these
That's
are the
the one I
tire
use,
savers
Matt.
by Autofiber, yeah. And then we got the Viking little mini brush for like low profiles, and you got Cerakote's little tire thing there. Shine Supply has like the kind of like a microfiber Brillo pad looking thing right there. And then, of course, I'm not going to go grab it, but everyone's seen the DIY like giant brush there that you can use as well.
Yeah. How many of y'all use brushes on tires? I just cannot do it, man.
Yeah, I
It's
use
depends
brushes
on
on
damn
the big
messy.
tires. I always use a brush on the big tires, but with smaller
Okay.
tires, I've been using
Big truck
those
tires.
hand pocket foam applicators.
Yeah.
I found those to be real good because I can throw them in my car. I don't have to wash them. I'll just throw them out every few uses, and they're cost efficient enough. I can slip my hand in there, and I get good control, and so I like those.
For
Chingy
water-based
says,
dressings, the brushes are the best, in my opinion.
Chingy says tire serum is still his favorite. It's a beautiful single layer finish. And he has to admit, though, the Tire Plus is growing on him. It's really nice. It has a really nice looking finish as well. And the scent is crazy bananas.
Yeah, Tire Plus is a good product.
So going backwards, I mean, we talked about tire shine. What are you rocking for your any LA Totally Awesome fans in here?
I think
how
you're
are
the
you
only
doing your
person in
tires?
the internet that uses that.
I'm another
dude,
one.
There you go.
$1.50
Oh,
a
It
gallon.
works great. Yeah, and you don't have to use it every single time, but it is an amazing degreaser when you're trying to knock out some crudded up, when you're trying to strip your tires bare for that new Pans V1 or your Geon or whatever you're going, like, dude, it is a phenomenal tire cleaner just straight out the bottle. Yeah. But what are you guys rocking? What is Greg liking these days to clean the tires?
Oh, to clean the tires?
Yeah.
BDE and Yum Undress I've been using.
Yum and just
Quite a
goated.
Yeah.
I kind of regret not buying that one. I got everything else. Go ahead.
What dilution are you using BDE at, Greg?
I think it was 4 or 5 to 1, if I remember right. I haven't used it since September, but I believe that's what it was, either 4 or 5 to 1. That's what I've been using.
Half a gallon for $5, and you can rock it all day long.
Franco's proud of it. Super proud. Hey, there's nothing wrong with it, man. Nothing wrong with it.
If there's no iron remover needed, I got my Old Faithful right here. Adam's Wheel and Tire.
Nice.
And then if I gotta put like a solvent or like something, I need a really clean surface, I'll double tap it with the tire and sap remover there from Stoners. Sometimes I'll use tar and residue from Yum as well.
Oh, Ricardo, what are you rocking to clean your tires?
I'll use a tire cleaner. ADS tire is really good, but like I said, for that first application before the pans that I've been maintaining, I use Ulex as my final step.
Well, man, Ulex, that stuff is harsh.
Yes, you got to be careful with it. Definitely.
I also rock with ADS tire cleaner. It's goated.
No, it's not goated. It does the job. It does the job. Don't just say stuff to say it. It's not goated. It does the job. I just have to call
You don't like it?
Hey, it's not even because of the brand, right? Because that's what I use on the day-to-day. I personally don't think it's goated because, like Najim showed, I still have to pull out the Stoner's tar and sap remover to strip those tires fully when I want to put black velvet, a solvent-based dressing on there. Any dressing, if I really want to get a perfect finish, I really got to hit that double. So I wouldn't say it's goated, but it's.
And Bradley and DJ even say they recommend doing the tar and sap remover from Stoners to get that final. Yeah.
And it works. It works.
If you're gonna put a solvent on or like an actual tire sealant, yeah, but man,
I wouldn't do it all the time.
Go ahead.
No, you need to do it like once or twice in the lifetime of the tire, right? Or you keep it minimal.
Go ahead, Franco.
I'm detailing a lot of new cars, so
yeah.
But
well, I mean, for all of you guys, y'all know this. I'm sorry, Matt, to interrupt you. But okay, a bit long day. Yeah. I need to show my process in a video. That's going to be my next video. But the fact that you're just using the oh yeah, it's going to be my next video. But when you clean your tires, man, grab a towel, grab a dirty job towel, grab an old applicator, an old tire applicator that you're not using anymore. Man, hit your Tire Plus, whatever you're using, your whatever, and scrub your tire, rinse it off. And as if you're going to do another scrub your tire, and then just to spread the chemical around, and then wipe that tire down. And I can almost guarantee you that you won't have to use the U-Lex to wipe all that gunk off, because you really need to wipe that gunk off. That brush pretty much makes the shit brown, and you can rinse it off, but the brush leaves so much behind. I'm telling you guys, wipe your tire down as your second brush. And come back to me and let me know how that works for you, because that is a super easy way to clean your tires.
So Corey's challenge.
Go ahead, Greg. I was just gonna say, if anyone else has used this, I don't know if it's just me, but Cleanfield Tire Pro did not work out well for me. I thought it was pretty weak sauce for clean tires. So save your money on that one if you ask my opinion.
So Corey is saying that he ran into some uncleanable tires, and here's what he tried with them: 3 rounds of Yum Undress, 2 rounds of Detail Co. BDE Neat, 1 Clean Tilt Industrial Degreaser, Terminator, 2 Mile Deep Resolve, and 1 of Veritas. It was still hydrophobic. 2 years of tunnel wash dressing.
What kind of dressing was on that tire?
You're gonna need some Stoner's tar remover, and that's what you done right.
That's what a Terminator is, isn't it?
LA is totally awesome. I'm telling you, Corey, try that. It's $5 for half a gallon, and that will eat up all that caked on grease.
There just ain't no way.
Yo, Corey,
I'm gonna buy some now. I'm gonna buy some.
No, I'm telling you. I promise you.
I thought we said
that affiliate link.
You sound like you're sponsored.
I know.
Yeah. Hey, so there's one that hasn't
on his tires.
There's one that hasn't come up yet. Vic is the first one to mention this, and hey Vic, thanks for joining at 11:30 back on the Atlantic coast. Blaze 3-1 is what Vic is using. By the way, have you guys seen his videos, his weekly videos that he's popping up with the Katiba,
the Hydrophobic King?
Yeah, the Hydrophobic King. Yeah. Thanks for always posting those in a timely manner, Vic. But Blaze 3-1. I might have a bad bottle of Blaze because it is not working well for me. So I'm gonna try one more bottle to see if I can get it to work, and I'll report back. But I'm not gonna pick it up until probably end of May.
The one that you used, Greg, was it the Blaze Direct or was it the dilutable one?
Concentrated. Yeah.
Concentrated. All right, just checking. Did you concentrate it properly?
Yes, 3-1.
All right.
Yep.
After I saw that video on Christy's channel,
maybe you should concentrate on diluting it properly next time. Maybe you didn't do it right. Maybe it was 1-3.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that, and I've done it 3 times, so I'm
still. I know.
I know. It's okay.
Fernando, what were you saying?
Yeah, after I saw that video on Christie's channel where they did the comparison between was it Blaze, the Yum wheel tire cleaning combo,
Clean tool.
and
Mm.
no, it was the Yum. It was wheels and tire, right, and undress that they were using, and then the wheel foam, and it was her, Chelsea, and Duck Pond, and then they used the brake from. So I got all three now to try out, but so I'm gonna do my own tests on that one. But the first time I used undress, I tried it. I'm like, this doesn't work. And I started cleaning, and it would not come off, right? So I went to my go-to, which was the ADS tire. I sprayed that, still wouldn't come off. I'm like, wait, something's wrong here, right? And it was years of neglect on these tires that was on my mom's car, and it was tunnel washes and whatever it was, Armor All, the cheap stuff, right? And sure enough, I ended up finishing with the ADS tire, and I put like 3-4 scrubs, and I was using a drill with a brush, and taking all of that off. But I had to go like 3-4 times on each tire, and it was undiluted. I was going straight, and I wanted to keep trying undress, but I wanted to be in a more controlled environment at that time to make sure that I was comparing apples to apples on that one. So I haven't played around a lot with undress. I hear really good things about it, but for hammered tires, that's my the ADS worked really well for me. And for regular maintenance, I like using the Maniac just because it's all in one, right? It does wheels and tires, and that's the only reason it just makes it easy that you do it all in one instead of having to use two different. So if it's just a maintenance watch, that's what I go to.
Okay.
So along those lines, what's everybody's
I
preference?
wasn't
Where do you
impressed by
come up?
Maniac, to be honest with you. I mean, it was okay, but like you say, maintenance it's fine, but if it's a hammered wheel, it doesn't really impress me much.
I agree.
What were you saying, Slick?
No, that was
was
Ricardo.
That was Ricardo.
I was just going to
Ricardo.
ask, what's everybody's opinion on that? The dedicated tire and wheel, the combo. I mean, to me, my experience, and again, not necessarily the most experience, but you can't get a combo that works equally well on both. You have to have the separate
The
tire and wheel.
the closest was probably Adam's wheel and tire for a combo, but for the most part, like I love using both tire and wheel cleaner. So yeah,
I would say
that's me.
I would say that a Picar wheel and tire cleaner did a really good job on both this weekend. Yeah,
I agree.
It's
with
impressive.
like the part, if you're using a wheel and tire cleaner, and all in one, that you're not going to be able to reset either the tire or the wheel, right? But you could definitely get some killer maintenance work done, especially if you're using some of the stronger products at their higher dilutions. You could definitely get some work done, but you're not going to reset the tires or the wheels with just a wheel and tire cleaner.
I like that panel by panel just put up there. The companies have gone too far with foam cannon specific tire shampoo.
I
What do
will
y'all think
say, I
about
think
that?
that does have a place if, let's say you, for example, you wash your car weekly, you don't really want to be putting a wheel cleaner on there every week. And you can
No,
get
I don't. I know not all the harsh.
you can just use
not
a
every
shampoo.
week.
I mean, I don't know if I would get a wheel. Like, for example, GT sells a wheel shampoo. I'm not sure how much more beneficial that is versus a regular shampoo.
Where's
But I
Dark
haven't
Dragon
tested it.
at? That stuff is nice. That stuff is nice. It's a little excessive for my process, but that wheel shampoo and I've got the Yum wheel shampoo, the wheel
I like
foam. Yeah,
the GT
I
wheel shampoo because it has those
I do like that.
anti-corrosives. And my wife's rocking the BMW, so even for the maintenance, it's not real harsh, but it also helps with all the damn rust on the
Yeah,
freaking rotors afterwards.
Just leave
I
either
never
Yum.
understood the hype behind rust in your rotors. Just drive up, brake, drive back.
Oh, it's not about having them, the rust. I'm not worried about it, but after you drive it, then the fresh, clean wheel is now full of rust, rust dust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have that problem because I put the covers on my wheels. I knock out all my wheels and I put the covers on, so that flash rust doesn't build up. So when I drive off and I come back, that I don't have all those little copper speckles all over the wheel. And I have gloss black wheels on my girlfriend's Mazda and my Bronco. So yeah, it does help having all that stuff. But is it truly needed? Not really, but it's convenient.
I'm telling you right now, like the Built Amber Atom Mac, you spray that on the rotors before you do anything, and
Mhm.
you will not get any of that rust issue at all. Those things can get wet all day long, and they will, you'll see like a tiny bit of flashing maybe, but it won't be
Mhm.
enough that you would get the rust speckles afterwards. And
Hmm.
as far as double tapping, I keep either GT or Yum shampoo and like a foamer ready to go, and that's how I just like my heavy chemicals by just double tapping the shampoo. That's the only reason why I carry the shampoos, because
Yeah.
it's good for the wheel, and they smell nice, and it gives me a little extra lube. There's
Yeah.
Yeah.
nothing wrong with a little
Just
extra lube.
no, just real quick. Join Christie's podcast or watch Christie's podcast tomorrow night because David is going to be featured on Christie's podcast tomorrow night.
Hmm.
So tune
If
in,
you
everyone.
guys if you guys have any questions about the buying car process, getting cars ready for like if you want to get into flipping cars or anything like that, the dealership process in
Ooh.
general, we're gonna explore all that tomorrow. So definitely bring those questions to the live tomorrow.
Just a quick sneak peek. Like, does it really make a difference if I have a blasted Kia like the boys had over there in Pocatello, and I shine
Like
it up before I go to sell it? Does it make a difference?
so, if you were like
A
coming in to
pre-detail to
trade it
sell.
in or
Yeah.
sell it or something like that to a dealership, like
Hmm.
does it really matter? No, it's not gonna. Now, if it's like really trash, like rust is like there's rust holes and stuff like that coming out of the car, then yes, that will
Hmm.
affect the valuation. But if you just got a dirty car, we can care less. We might use it to like get you, a lower number on your car, but if you argue enough about it, we're not gonna, lose a sale or lose a purchase over that, because we want the car just as bad as you want to sell it in most cases, because obviously if
So
it's a
so we
piece of,
can squeeze a few more bucks out of the trade with a
yeah,
detailed and shined up car.
yeah,
Yeah.
within reason. I mean, if you do your research, and I always tell people get 3 quotes. Don't take your first offer. I mean, always go to CarMax, Carvana, like those are like the two big ones because they overpay for everybody. And then
Hmm.
you go to the last dealership where you plan to buy a car from, and that's where you'll get the most money.
Does nobody
So
use PNS anymore?
yeah,
Will-
so William Blotzer's asking that question.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Breakbuster.
I'm
Break
gonna go first, and I'm gonna speak for myself as a longtime PNS user, someone who used it for a very long time, used most of their products, most of their entire range. Like I've used really just about all they had. No, no, it's been a minute since I've touched a PNS product other than to move it out of my garage. There's a sea of better stuff out there. It's definitely cost effective. It works. There's nothing wrong with it. It'll get the job done. But as an enthusiast, there's a lot of better stuff out there.
Hmm.
I haven't touched penis in a long time, but like I used to like use penis all the time. But now it's like they're just so behind in the times. You know what I mean? So like they haven't adjusted anything as far as I've seen as far as their formulas. You know what I mean?
I think they're good
Yep.
if you're starting to get into detailing, get your foot
Yeah,
in the door.
yeah,
But
very
there is
affordable.
much better chemicals you can purchase that are highly dilutable, much stronger than that. And in the long run, if you take into account the price of it being diluted, it's actually cheaper than PNS.
Who's
Right.
the one? Is it Don? Don. I text Don and he couldn't be on tonight, but I think it's Don is the one that loves the the glass spray, the the rain
The
X
reflect.
style. There you go.
Reflect.
Like,
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's
have
not
y'all
really
used
a
that?
glass cleaner though. That's more like a finishing spray. Like it leaves it hydrophobic after you're
Okay.
done. So like if you
Yeah.
got hammered windows, you should not use reflect. Reflect is good for like after you've cleaned the windows and you just want to give that a little extra shine and give it some hydrophobicity afterwards.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I
So,
think we
I
can
heard
all
question.
agree
hydrophobic
that
is pretty good.
I think we can all agree that Detail Co. came and took PNS's playbook about being affordable, dilutable, and work and blew them away.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so quick question. Panel by panel has a good question here. Okay. Do you think it's a conflict of interest that companies selling the products are the ones trying to dominate the information on how to on the internet? And um, I'm just going to open. I've got something to add to it, but I'll throw it out to you guys just to get some your feedback on this
I
question.
don't know.
Good
Ask
question,
Ivan.
panel.
How's it working out for Ivan?
Yeah. So
That's a very good
so
question.
yeah. Yeah, it is a good question. So here's my opinion on it is if I'm out there selling a product, and it's a tire dressing or it's a tire cleaner, the one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be out there promoting it as much as I can. That's my job as a company. If I'm making products, my job is to get out there and sell, promote, promote, promote. So I don't think it's an issue personally that these companies, DIY, uh, the House of Rags, Yum, ADS, whatever company we're talking about, if they're out there pushing their product, that's to me, that's not an issue. That's part of their job.
Well, I
Yeah.
think the internet in and of itself is a safeguard in that, right? Because I mean, they can attempt to put out as much information as they want, but there's enough people out there putting out independent content that
Yeah.
that if there's a problem with the product, somebody's going to put it out there.
Yeah. And I'll add to that, I'll add to that perfectly because it's not so much that they're dominating the internet. It's just they have the most viewers. I mean, they get the most views, but it's not like, I have my videos like Fernando has his. It's I mean, they dominate just out of pure numbers, but it's not like no one else is talking about them, so you can find a detailer or a forum or a YouTuber that you trust and you can listen to them. Yeah, we're talking about it now. You found us, so I mean
And
it's not so much domination. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
and one thing I wanted to add was that the process isn't defined by the product, right? So you can use the process that's being taught with a different product, but just use that as a knowledge base, like a area to go look on how to do stuff. Because I used to use a lot of DIY. Or when I coded my first car, I went with all DIY because I knew the videos were there, right? And now it's more of like, well, I learned a little bit there and learning a little bit from this other OEM or other manufacturer, and
Hmm.
use the best what you think is for you and your process. And you're going to find out that I don't need to use a hammer when I can just use a little, something much lighter and not. And
Yeah.
so you start learning as you evolve, right? And you start to figure out, I don't need this, I don't need that, I need more of this, and you adapt to that. So I think there shouldn't, and I agree with Greg too, right? These companies are trying to sell their products, and showing is a great way of selling. If you can see
Yeah.
it's then it must work, right? Or
How many of you guys, still do the same process that you might have learned when you first started watching YouTube about detailing and stuff like that? Like, I mean, if I listened to the first guy I watched on YouTube, I'd look like a straight up jackass, when it comes to detailing. So I mean, you gotta take a lot of this as entertainment or as a sales pitch. In my opinion, I mean, obviously there's guys out there like especially some of the smaller creators, such as like the guys in this podcast. A lot of these guys are working detailers, so it's their process, and you're gonna take what works for you out of that process because that may not work for you. Like, slick in Florida may not work for me in California, And Greg up in Seattle, he's got wet weather, and Adamo up in Canada, he's got snow and cold weather he's got to contend with. So it's not that it's wrong processes. It's just, hey, that works for them in their area. And then of course, when it comes to the guys selling stuff, obviously, like anyone that's watching Ivan video, there's only like how many products are in DIY? Like 7 or 8 or 9, whatever. That's gonna be it in his world. Then nothing else exists to him. So you really can't, use that as your only basis for information, when it comes to detailing.
Yeah, there's such a vast world of detailing that you cherry pick and you experiment and pick out everything that works for you. I don't use pressure washers. When I first started actually getting into detailing and becoming professional at it, I was foaming every single wash, and I was washing my car. Dude, I can't do it anymore. Foam rinse foam is my own personal hell. Like, I can't do it. It doesn't work for me. And I found a process that does work for me. So yeah, it's exactly as you said,
Hello, Conway. Conway joined us in the
What up, Conway?
chat.
I will say, I mean, the reason they're doing the educational content is to get you to pay attention to them, right? I mean, if they make a video selling their tire dressing, it's going to get less views than them showing how to apply a tire dressing, It's
and the
all a
reasons why
marketing
and all that
scheme,
good stuff.
and every company is doing it. Even independent YouTubers are doing the same thing. I mean, it's an open market, and you can choose whoever you want. I would recommend you watch 5, 6 different people doing the same thing, try it out yourself, and then you figure out, your own way to do it.
Greg,
But at the end of the day, they're all doing the same thing. You just can't. I would take their process, but I wouldn't take their products. The products, I think you should really test on your own, and as well as the process. But you can get a baseline from all the YouTubers you watch.
Yeah,
Greg, I think you
people
guys.
get mad. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think Greg and Jamie and Eddie touched on that a little bit in the last Clearcoat confession when you guys were talking about the reasons behind Yum blowing up the way it did was because that was the first time somebody came on presenting their products and how to individually on all those products. And that really resonated with a lot of people. Now, does that mean that Yum products are the best and Yum products are the only thing you should buy? No, but it again, it resonated with people and brought it to the forefront, and a lot of people bought into it and bought the products.
Yep.
There's a snapping going on or a clapping going on. I'm not sure where that's coming from.
No idea.
Yeah, that right there. I don't know who that is. That's not
That's
me.
Franco.
Franco, mute your mic.
Snapping my underwear.
That was my chair. I'm sorry, guys.
I was gonna say it's either Slick or it's Franco. One or the other.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't
I will
blame
say-
that one on me, Slick.
No. I
You
will
can
say
blame
this.
everything else.
I wanted to
Watching
answer William's question in the chat. What do you guys use on a black trim around windows that is grabby? What material are we talking about? Is it like a gloss plastic or a like
talking about the window rubbers?
material? Yeah. If it's a rubber material, usually I'm using like a magic eraser actually to decon those with some all-purpose cleaner. Give it a nice little scrub, and that works really well to take off a lot of that grime, and then you can go ahead and dress those rubber strips.
But what you're using the magic eraser, but what chemical are you using?
APC said.
APCs, yeah.
Yeah. Basically, whatever I've got in my trunk, I've got a whole assortment of chemicals. It could be Primus, it could be MSN, it could be ADS tire. Anything that's meant for rubber, plastic, that kind of not rubber, not gloss black, but it's like a plastic, like a rough plastic. I would still use something like an all-purpose cleaner.
As long as you have lubrication.
Yeah, William. Yeah, if you think about it, not rubber, gloss black. Oh,
Like piano black.
Not gloss black.
Yeah.
Oh, when
he's talking the
piano
textured
blacks-
plastics.
I
I think he's
so.
talking about like the piano black
not rubber,
plastics. Yeah.
not gloss black.
Yeah.
No. You said not glass
textured
black.
plastic.
I
Not
think
rubber.
he means,
gloss
right.
black.
I think he means the textured plastics. I also
Texture
use
plastic.
the
Yeah.
I also use the magic eraser for the textured plastics. I think they're great for the deconning them. Yeah, APC degreaser, something like that would work great with like a magic eraser. That's what I use to decon all the trim. I've tried brushes and whatever, and I keep going back to the magic eraser. They do like disintegrate, after you use them a little bit, but they're cheap enough. So yeah, that works great with like an APC. You'll notice.
Yeah. And
Just
if they're
just
sticky and kind of old and I would almost say melted, but yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing any kind of a Ulex or like solvent or
yeah.
Terminator. I wouldn't
No.
recommend that. Don't do
Even
that.
even a strong degreaser. I was about to say with degreasers, make sure you dilute it properly for like that type of material because they can stain.
Conway, I also had I had like a superstition about magic erasers, but they actually work really well for what I use them for.
I think they
As
do
long as
work well in very certain situations, especially like really trash cars that have like scuffed up door cards. I think magic erasers work really well for that. But you do have to. I would recommend you do a test spot because you could
Yeah,
definitely mess something
you
up.
gotta consider magic erasers are like I would say like a 5,000 grit sand block. So you got to consider it like that. So if it's something you don't want to mar, then don't use it. You know what I mean? And that goes for pretty much anything we say on this podcast. Take whatever we say with a grain of salt. You do at your own risk. But yeah, the melamine can be used in a lot of cases. Like when you got those scuffed up door cards, that's where I would love using the melamine because it kind of it does a nice job of kind of blending in those scuffs in the plastics and stuff like that. But I
Dude,
wouldn't do it on a nice car.
when
Yeah.
I couldn't find my scrub ninjas, I used the just the household Scotch Brite, the sponge and the scrubby side. Use the scrubby side on the textured door plastics. It's soft. It scrubs
I was just
stuff
gonna
out. Yeah,
say, I
yeah.
was just gonna
I
say,
like the hell out of that.
Fernando use the other side of Fernando's sponge that he used for tire dressing, flip it around and scrub the rubber and the plastics.
So just real quick, Dark Dragon was going to join, but he got the blue screen of death on his computer.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Tell him to use his phone. I'm using my phone. Come on with you. Bad
Tell them
self.
to use an iPad. Everybody uses an iPad.
Well,
and you sound all
not
salty about
everybody.
it too.
Not everybody.
It's funny because I hear a lot about marring with the magic eraser, but I haven't gotten any. I mean, I don't use it on everything, but yeah, all those rubber door seals around. A lot of the time, if I'm
that's
trying
fine.
to, a lot of the time, if I'm trying to strip it clean before I put a dressing on there, sealant on there, that's always what I'm using. I've tried so many different materials, and that's just my go-to.
I think what David said was good. I wouldn't do it on a super nice car, but I
Right.
mean, if the car is pretty trash, the sandpaper is only really gonna help, right?
Yeah. And what would you do to, let's say William gets it all unstickified and uses APC and gets it all nice and pretty. Man, I'm going back to Guardian. I like to put Guardian on the trim. I need to use my Yum Serum trim serum that I've got, but man, I'm rocking the hell out of that Guardian on the black
I like
trim
the
on the
303.
Bronco. Oh,
Yeah, I
that
haven't heard that
303
one in a
stuff's
while.
nice. It's been a hot minute.
I think 303 is overrated.
Damn it, David. Damn it, David.
So what do
Humberto,
you recommend? Oh, go ahead.
Me,
For trim.
oh no, I mean I was gonna just say I'm not a fan of like glossy interiors. I use like a shield is one of the most common things I'll use or something like that. I like to keep it matte or
No, on
OEM
the
plus.
Outside trim.
exterior plastic. Yeah.
Exterior plastics. Then I'll use like a like either like a 4-to-1 or a 9-to-1 dressing that I've diluted down. It could be anything. It could be Fenrir. It could be dressed V2 or something like that. I just dilute it.
I've been using. I mean, if it's like faded and it needs some color, solution finish like every single time.
Oh yeah.
One that I like the way it lasts, that really surprised me, was 3D's ceramic trim dressing. They're from their Glow line. That actually really surprised me because it leaves a very nice like satin finish. It comes out as a gel, so you don't have to spray it on. It's very neat, and that one lasts a pretty good time. So I like that one. There's a few of them. The 303 one has worked well for me, so I'll vouch for you.
Thanks, Matt.
That's a good one.
You can't even say that without smiling.
Did I mention trim serum? Trim serum is really good. GT's trim serum, it's good stuff. I like 2-to-1, 3-to-1. It's beautiful.
I like
Greg. What were you? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say for not real faded stuff that's in good condition, the Kokemi, the PSS is pretty good. I don't like the HPC, but the PSS is pretty good.
I found HPC was really good for tires. I actually crushed my liter of that. I was using it for after I found out how good it worked on tires, every single job after that, I just crushed my bottle of HPC. And I honestly have to get more. But it's a little expensive to use it straight,
Yep.
Yeah. Humberto is just saying, just added a comment that something great to use is Tack System Almighty, which you can use for enhancing the wet gloss on tires, rubber plastic garnish, especially on the rubber on the door seals. And we've
Tack
got
Systems is solid line. Yeah.
Dark Dragon in
How's it going, bro?
How's it going?
garage.
What's up?
How's it going?
Dark Dragon.
Yeah, it's the blue screen of death. You got it fixed. That's good to see.
I actually
Diamond
ended up using
Dan-
my iPad.
Yeah, Diamond Dan says he needs to try the Yum tire serum or trim serum. Excuse me. I have it too, and I haven't had a chance to give it a try. Has anybody used it here yet?
I have not used it.
David?
No. I've used it a little bit, but yeah, it's not. I've only had my cars don't have a lot of plastic. That's the problem. But for the little plastics I do have, it worked amazing.
Hey, Greg, Nick's gonna call back for his hat because you haven't used all of his products.
Well, there's a reason for that. I don't live in a warm, dry climate. So yeah, and I don't work once it gets, I don't do car washing once it gets below 50. We wait until the springtime. Like today, I think we hit 72 today. So I was out I washed Chris's car before he came over to pick it up.
Hey Greg, can you highlight that says Yum is too pricey for me? How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, are you asking me how I feel about that?
You personally,
I mean, yep. So Yum is not cheap, but Yum for me works. I don't have a business. I just do the family and some friends' cars. That's it. I don't mind spending the money for it because for me, the products work and they work well. Detail Co works well and is a lot less, but
More
for
price
me,
affordable.
I enjoy the process.
That's what I was getting at. Since you're an enthusiast, I'm not sure if Panel by Panel's an enthusiast or a professional, but if you're an enthusiast, the price doesn't really matter that much, right?
Right.
As long as it's not
really
absurdly expensive, it shouldn't
Sure,
affect you that much because you're gonna get many uses out of the bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll be
Yum
touching on
Trim
this,
Serum
so-
right now. I'm sorry. Yum Trim Serum right now is $92.99, and you get 50 mils, and you're coating trim like the bottom of your Bronco, the bottom of your Mazda, the bottom of whatever you've got. I mean, it goes a long way, but I haven't used it. I've got a bottle just like David, and Greg, but yeah, even if I were to use it, it's $100. It's $90, but if I charge a couple of customers, I mean that first usage is going to pay for it, and I've get multiple uses out of it. So
Especially on a 50 ml bottle. I mean, if you're on a business, I mean, the first service should pay for it, and plus a little bit extra, and then everything else after that is gravy. But I mean,
Yeah.
like I'm kind of like on both sides of the fence. Like I'm an enthusiast at home, so like anyone that's seen my garage sees that I don't give a shit about money when it comes to buying what I like, or wanting to try new stuff. But if you go to my garage at my work, you'll see the most like unknown products that they just do what they do. They're like 5 gallon, tubs of chemicals that, they're harsh, they work, and they're cheap. So that's what I'm spending my money on for business. You know what I mean? Because and that's only for like like a Hyundai or a Kia or something like that. If I get like a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, I'm using my good stuff on that, but I'm the one handling that personally on those. So I mean, it just depends on what you're doing it for. And of course, if you're an enthusiast and you're on a budget, use what works for you. There's plenty of great products out there that are affordable. Just use what works for you, and then you can work your way up to the bougie stuff if you can't afford it right now.
Yeah,
What's
and,
the
and
shelf
the,
life
the
on
one
the trim?
the shelf life or the
Yeah, once you open it, I mean,
So if you cap it off right away, and like, cause there's a stopper, that you can put back on the cap, and you can, seal it up and put it in a low humidity, dark place. You can probably get some time out. Nick will tell you like 2 weeks if you don't, get it out of the air. If you leave it cap wide open, you know what I mean.
2
But
weeks.
it will crystallize on you.
dark.
You know what?
What?
Dark, go ahead. I got something for y'all here in a minute. Yeah, Dark.
Okay.
What you gonna do?
Oh, yeah, you're gonna ask me a question.
Go for it.
Yeah, I was just the follow up on Vice's question to me about the pricey products, because I see over your right shoulder and your left shoulder, I see Detail Co, Yum, Clean, Garage
It looks like you don't care.
Yeah, I don't care about price. If as an enthusiast, you don't get to use, like, you don't go through a product all that often, right? So price isn't as much of a concern. I know it's pricey, but if it's quality, then it really shouldn't matter, right? And
Amen.
yeah.
Alvin's like my brother from another mother when it comes to buying rinseless from no matter
Oh my
where
god,
it
dude,
is in the world.
this is just like a couple of them.
Yeah, how is
Greg,
that car candy? Did you try the car candy rinseless?
Yeah, it's right here. It's right here. So
give us the sneak peek. You're one of the few people that have tried it.
It's pretty good. So at SEMA they said it was a polymer, but it ended up being a hybrid, and it's got like this flowery citrus scent. It was okay. I think I need to try it again. I did like a short that I'll probably post, but it wasn't too bad. The car that I used it on was really dirty, so I kind of pushed it there. So I was gonna try to give it another chance on something less dirty, but
It's a good thing you're not sponsored video, man, because that was like the worst sales pitch I've ever heard for rinseless.
Oh, I know. I'm trying to be honest. It was really good. It was really easy to use, but I mean, like, I just wanted to see how well it would clean. I wouldn't say it's the best cleaner, but it was fine. Like, it was weird because the first time I used it, half the car it felt a little grabby, kind of like a surfactant rinseless. But then the other half of the car, it felt pretty slick. So I was just like, I don't know. The wheel and tire cleaner was really good. The ceramic detailer was all right, but all of them smell really good. I'll say that.
Well, with a name like car candy, you better have good smelling stuff. I mean,
well, their other stuff had like no sense. So
oh, geez.
So because this is our show and we get to talk about what we want to talk about and comments and this and that, I'm asking panel by panel. Are you just not a fan of the Yum? I'm not saying you're trolling, but you had a comment in there like you watched the process and it's swear up and down there's 40 different chemicals for the wash process. Of course you're exaggerating, but are you just not a fan of the brand? And like, the Yum trim serum is too expensive for you and there's too many chemicals in the process. Well, if that's the case, then why?
Well, he was Franco. He was saying it was like,
yeah,
he was saying like $40 in chemical bucks for just a basic wash. So
I think that's pretty
citrus.
Good.
Because I mean, if you think about it, how many times are you going to use citrus, for example? Citrus, you dilute 1 to 10. You got
Yeah,
10
and it
bottles.
goes a long way. Yeah,
You got 10 bottles of this whole thing.
Well, see, that's what I was going to ask, because if he's saying it's like $40 per wash in use costs, that I don't think he's diluting it properly.
He don't math that math very good, but and you know
Yeah.
it brings up a good point. Like all these guys are, and not to say all these guys, but you know which ones are in the comments a lot, and they're like, well, this and this and that's too expensive, and this, like a lot of people like to brag they can't afford stuff, I guess. But I mean, if you really break it down to use per vehicle with everything across the board, not just Yum, everything, like, why are these people complaining that everything's just so expensive? And especially if you're doing this for money, you're making that money back. The cost of chemicals isn't breaking the bank. It's not the reason why you can only afford to pay half the electric bill if you're doing it professionally, and that's all you do. Yeah. So
Look,
what do
there's
y'all
two
think
types of
about
people.
that?
There's two types of people in this world. There's the people that use gummy fix, and there's the people that use glycerin and alcohol.
Yeah.
Good night, folks.
It's a good question. William was asking. He wanted to ask what we were just touching on, using different products on different types of vehicles or for different people. Is it the vehicle or the relationship with the person that helps you choose?
Oh,
me,
I
so
like that.
that's it, right? So go ahead. What were you saying, Noah? Was that you?
Matt.
For me,
Matt, what were you saying?
For me, it definitely depends on the condition of the vehicle. It's not like in my head I'm subconsciously treating someone over another. It's usually the circumstance that calls for a product in my head that I'm just like, oh, this product would be extremely fit for the circumstance. That's when I pick it up.
And
I think
from the enthusiast side,
some good insight on that.
From the enthusiast side, I test on my wife's car, and then if it works, I use it on my car. You better not hear that.
Number one. That's a 101.
So no, I mean it's dictated by the condition of the car, right? If it's really dirty, then you'll use different products, and that's just, again, at the enthusiast level. So I'm sure it's different for the professional level.
Yeah, I think you're afforded like some leeway if you're an enthusiast. Like you can just get away with just like regular shampoo, like 90% of the time. But if you just want to try something, you go ahead. And then going back to the point of like how expensive it is, if you don't use a foam cannon to dilute some of that stuff, you're saving a lot of money. Like wheel foam, I know he uses 1 to 5 in a foam cannon, but if you just use a sprayer or like a foamer, you're using like 3 mils, I think, to like 16 ounces. It's not a lot.
Yeah.
There's ways to make things affordable that normally would not be affordable. If you're gonna do things like the way that you're seen in the YouTube videos where you're using 5 ounces of Jimbo's Super Soaper, and you basically get 3 washes out of it, 1 bottle of soap. Yeah, it's going to be pretty goddamn expensive to use, some products, you know what I mean? But, I mean, if you put 50 milliliters in a giant Pro Foam 12, whatever IK foamer, you can make that thing last for a really long time, you know what I mean? So it just depends on how you're using the products. And again, there's no shame in using the products that work, that are affordable. I mean, use what works for you. If you're an enthusiast, you can get away with, and you got a little bit extra cash to burn, use what you want to use. I mean, there's absolutely no shame in it. But there's nothing wrong with someone saying, hey, I like using Yum. I like using Yum because I support Nick and Kelly, because I really love their passion. Their products are a good product. There's nothing wrong with their product at all. It's actually really, really good stuff. So, I mean, I'm supporting them, you know what I mean? So, and same thing with Nick and Jamie. I support them. Detail Co happens to be very affordable, and it's a good product. So, yeah, I mean, maybe
fantastic products.
Yeah, maybe they can't spell on their labels, but I mean, we let that go because we love them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's
if you're really
exactly
worried about money, you can just get Detail Co and call it a day, because all their products are really good and very affordable and very deadly.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's not what panel by panel is saying. He's not worried about the money. He's just saying cost per wash. But you answered another part of his question there too, David, when you said you're supporting these people, Nick and Kelly. You know, they make great product, you know, and they're really good people.
Yeah.
And I could tell you from hanging out with Nick for 3 days, I couldn't break my credit card out to pay for anything. He was, and he made me sit in the front seat of the Bentley this week. He sat behind me. 6'6". He's still fitting with plenty of leg room behind me. It's just unreal.
I'm upset with you, by the way. I told you, as the Vincent character, you should have rolled up in the Bentley.
We were Jamie and I were Jamie and I said, I started walking over to the Subaru, and Jamie just goes, we're going to the Bentley. But the Bentley was locked, and they were inside doing something. So he said, we don't have enough time, so let's just use the Subaru. And by the way, shout out to Jamie for what he said. I'm going Tarantino on this one, Greg. It's not Greg, it's Greg. And he just came up with these ideas and these shots on that, the opening of that. And then he, you know, while we were sitting there waiting for our breakfast to show up, he edited that and got that all put together. So yeah, so that, I think that was a great question by panel. It, you know, it all depends. Enthusiast, business. Yeah. It's up to you.
Did you backwash on his tea, by the way?
No.
Hey, if I can bring it back to William's question a little bit, he was asking about the relationship and stuff like that. I think a lot of what, especially for me, what I use as a part-time is, I think a lot of it has to do with the expectations and what you're trying to accomplish, not so much the relationship or even sometimes the vehicle. I mean, the condition of the vehicle can dictate some of it. But I mean, what are the expectations? What are you trying to accomplish? Are you prepping this for a coating? Is this, you know, a maintenance customer that you don't want to lose? So I think the expectations dictate a lot of the product choices and the process choices.
Yeah. You know, and to piggyback on that, you know, it's the relationships that you see. Well, I guess we can really form a relationship via watching the YouTube video, but if I see somebody constantly just being a cool cat, that makes me want to buy from them. And then if I see someone just getting in the chats and, you know, Facebook and all that, just being little, for lack of a better word, little bitches, but you know, it makes me not want to buy from them, you know, and they might have great products, but if they're being trolls, it's real easy to say like, well, there's your stuff isn't the best on the block, so I don't have to buy from you. And you know, you did that to yourself, being unprofessional, you know?
Right. And I just want to comment on panel by panel, the last comment I just saw, and he's asking about, he said he was coming to Conway about, you know, I think everyone gets in the detailing business to make money. And if you're in the business of detailing, absolutely, that is correct. But there's more than one way to skin a cat, my friend. It's not, you know, like, for example, there's some people that in detailing are charging $100 for a wash, $150 for a wash. You know, and then there's people out there that are charging $400 just to walk in the door, you know what I mean, before we even get to the, you know, any real substantive, you know, like add-ons and stuff like that. And then that's not including coatings and other big, you know, ticket items. But it's all about what how you're charging, what you're charging, and, you know, what kind of level of service are you offering your customers. If you're offering, you know, hey, I'm going to get the car clean, don't worry about how I got there, then yeah, get the cheapest products that work for you and that don't harm the substrates that you're working on. But if you're trying to give that, you know, extra, you know, like service, be like, hey guys, I got something really nice I'm going to use on your car, because some customers actually care about what you're putting on their vehicle. And you'd be like,
They
hey,
really do.
I got this stuff. Yum. It's from the UK. It's really special stuff. You know, normally, you know, for the normal stuff, I usually charge you X amount of dollars. For this stuff, it's gonna be a little bit extra, but you know, this stuff is top shelf. It's like, you know, you want the Johnny Walker Red Label Scotch, or do you want the, you know, the Blue Label, which is like, you know, top shelf stuff. So you're gonna charge accordingly for what you're what you're trying to do with the customer's car. I've seen lots of details in California they got Yum, they got also Detail Co. in their van, and they also got the off-brand that they bought at the detail store that, it's decent products. They're fine. They do the job, but they're buying it just for that cheap customer that they're only charging $50 for a wash. You know what I mean? So it just depends on what you're trying to get done and what kind of clientele you're working with too.
But you know what? One of the things we haven't touched on too, if you're using better products and it's taking you less time and less work to accomplish the job, how do you calculate? You calculate that in as part of your total cost, and ultimately you're making more money because the better products are helping you do the job in a more efficient way.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a very good point, because you can spend more money on products that work faster, and you can spend less time doing the detail, and in essence, you make more money. So
right, and I think that's the other thing too, is like, you got to calculate it in the problem is a lot of detailers are in. There's a guy out there on TikTok, I forget his name, but he talks about like, business and detailing, and sometimes they could be an excellent detailer, but they suck at business, and then the other way around. There's some guys that are great at business, but they can't detail for the life of them. And you sometimes you got to be put on the salesman hat, and you got to sell not only the chemical but yourself, and you're gonna charge what you think you're worth. You know what I mean? So the chemicals are kind of like a secondary thing. If you're gonna buy the cheapest shit that no one's ever heard of, you're gonna some clients are gonna ask, what are you putting on my car? And then you're gonna be like, I'm using alcohol and glycerin. I'm just using that because it was the last thing in my head. So they're gonna be like, oh, where'd you get that? I made it in my bathtub. They're like, okay, maybe I'm not gonna call this guy next time. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
there is ways to get the job done for super cheap, but it doesn't mean it's the best way to do it, and it doesn't mean it's the only way to do it. So there's lots of ways to do something, and
you're both gonna clean your car at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I mean, I got clients that I sell cars to that if they saw me using some off-brand stuff, to be like, oh, that's not really cool, and then there's other people that I'm selling a Kia Forte to. They can give two shits about what I'm putting on their car. They just want to make sure it looks nice. So there's definitely ways to get to it.
Yeah, we actually had a 45 to 60-minute conversation about costs yesterday afternoon when I was driving through through Eastern Oregon. That we're probably going to turn into a podcast in the next couple of weeks. It was a great conversation. Slick Matt was giving us his opinion about pricing. Noah was.
I was fighting him.
So basically,
that was a great conversation.
What happened is that my pricing system is entirely better in every way than his, and he was trying to argue that for some reason. Like, why would you even argue? No, I'm kidding. So I noticed that when I stopped charging around the $1,500 area for like a truck, we were talking about an F-250, that I started getting like more coatings. I just lowered my price a little bit, and I kind of became a little bit more confident in selling them, and just more people said yes in general. I don't know if this is because my business was expanding, but this was a correlation that happened, right? And you charge how much? 16?
Damn, you're putting me on the spot. That's crazy. For this specific example, it was a F-250, one-step paint correction, 3-year ceramic coating. I told them $1,500.
Yeah, so it's not like we were in totally different ranges, but it goes to show how like our markets can kind of support different things, and also we're aiming for slightly different things, right? I want a little bit more coating jobs than he does because he's a bit less reliant on the detail work than I am. So,
yeah.
Unfortunately, I love chatting with you guys, but I'm super tired. I gotta head out.
No problem.
It was good talking to you. Thanks for coming on, brother.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks,
man. I'll definitely join you guys on the next one.
All right. Have a great week.
Have a fun, guys.
Good night.
Just going back to his one point, he said like 90% of people here are trying to make money. I am definitely not trying to make money. I am definitely an enthusiast. I like on the other side of the token, I just went down the rabbit hole of trying different things, particularly the rinseless washes.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
yeah, maybe give us a little insight in that, Dark. How many rinselesses do you have, and how many rinses have you?
Yeah. If you
gone
could
through
think of a
trying
There
out?
are
number
about
off the
okay, so
top of
I've
your
I
head.
can
cataloged about
confirm he has
80
more than me. He
something
does have
rinselesses
more than
in
me.
different versions. I have probably about 70 or 60 something of them.
Yo.
This is definitely not. This is definitely not
He's not a hoarder. He doesn't have a
the
spending
whole
problem.
list. And I just want to try them all. And I feel like if you watch people like Jeff, he just wants to try things so he can find out what he likes. That's kind of like the same thing, but for rinselesses. I think
He
it was
just doesn't
important
sell it off when
to
he's done.
see like how it progressed from like I don't know, like 2016, 2013, whenever the first one came out. But I mean, like, there's rinselesses that don't exist anymore. Like Maguire's had one that's been gone for like 6 years, and it's like the change in technology has been pretty drastic. Like, I will say nowadays it kind of feels like they're all the same, but it is interesting to try them all, and I think that's the fun for me, and that's why I'm not trying to make money. I just want to try them.
But
So
the
Dark's
rush that
not
you
just an
get,
enthusiast, but he's gonna open a museum too afterwards with
yeah.
rinseless.
But like saying like piggybacking on what Alvin's saying is
Hold on, I can't
like,
hear. I think David's talking, but I can't hear him. Can you guys hear him?
can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You might need to
Yeah.
leave and then come back.
I can't hear him.
Yeah. But piggybacking on what
Hold on. I'm gonna
Alvin
need
was
to come back
saying.
because all of a sudden I can't hear him.
Yeah, same thing was
Okay.
happening.
I can hear you, David.
Yeah. So piggyback on what he was saying is basically like when you do find like a rinse, because he's right, a lot of them are very similar, but like they are different in their own ways. But when you do find one that's special, like when Yum Rinseless came out and when Nemesis V2 came out, like you was instantaneously you knew that there was something special there. So it's like a rush that you're like, oh wow, found something different for once. You know what I mean? And not another ONR, V 30 coming out down the pipe. It's like they're all the same at that point. So it's nice when you get to see something different. That's what a lot of us are chasing as enthusiasts, at least, is that finding that product that it's like, oh wow, something new and cool that actually works. So that's what I think as far as the enthusiast is, like that we're trying to find that next best thing, the newest thing that just came out that no one else knows about, that we get to share with everybody and our friends. But like, oh hey, I found something really cool that really works, and only you can get it at this place. You kind of become that I can lead you to that place where you can get it. So it's a little bit of on all ends where you can get a rush from finding a new product.
We're all chasing that new
Dragon
product
is
high.
an expert in rinseless. If you guys have any questions, hit up Dark Dragon. He's tried literally all of them.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Ricardo?
No, I was just saying we're always chasing that new product high. That adrenaline rush you get when you try something new and it works really well or beyond your expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, and I don't have that, man. I like my gadgets and I like to tinker around with all kinds of gun hoses and blah 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 hose guns, and yeah, but you know how long it took me to finally buy Labo Cosmetica? Like I'm the oddball out here. I don't need the.
I've been telling
latest
you
and
about
great-
Primus. He tried it and he was blown away.
Yeah. So that's so Vice. Christy, I just sent you a text, but Franco, Vice had a good point there, right?
What did he have a point on?
You put
nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. You didn't try Lab. You didn't get Labo for a long time, and then somebody, I don't remember who it was, sent you a bottle of Yum Detailer to try on.
That is the worst detailer that ever was made. Dude, it stinks and streaks. Dude, I bought a whole
what did you do within a week?
5 liter. I bought the last 5 liter before somebody else did, and a lot of people were mad. It was like 2 weeks after that they got their restock, but dude,
You wait until we try all the good stuff and we tell you what's good.
And then who's been pushing Blue Crush?
That's true.
I don't know about no Blue Crush. That's some weird stuff too.
Dude, you've been pushing Blue Crush like you're Rob Caputo's bitch. Come on, man.
Yeah, use Franco's coupon code. That's his other sponsored product.
By the way, I did win a bottle of Blue Crush from Rob's giveaway this past weekend. So
nice!
Had something coming.
Yeah, J Farm is. If J Farm is still in the comments, I sent him a 12 ouncer of Blue Crush. Fernando. I think Fernando wants the Yum Woolies.
Yeah, I
I'll
wanted to
send
try
you
the.
yeah. I'll send those, and I'll send I've got 1.5 gallons of Blue Crush, and that stuff is great. I alternate it with Rogue and Soft Wash. Yeah.
Corey's telling us he loves Labo. Let Corey, we all know you love Labo. We've seen your pictures, your Christmas tree,
Best friends.
your fireplace. Yeah. And a good question from panel by panel. Do you think the enthusiasts who spend a lot in products deliver better quality than the professional? The professional, yeah.
That's actually
I can tell you.
Question.
Yeah, it's a really good question. So I can tell you from my experience. So, I'm retired, and I'm trying to get better at this. If I'm using Yum or, previous products that I used were Garage Therapy. Am I going to deliver better results than a professional? Probably not in the end. But I will tell you that, especially when it comes to polishing and coating, they're going to do a better job than I am, 100%. But I think they look good. I do the best job I can. I'm spending way more time than someone that does this for a living on a car. Again, because I have the time, and I worked my butt off all those years to save up for retirement. So I don't mind spending a little bit more on some of the products, and I don't mind trying some of the more expensive products as well.
I think that's
but I'm also
very dependent. Go ahead. Sorry, Greg.
I'll finish it up saying I'm also using the less expensive products a lot. In fact, my next video is going to be detail coat, shameless plug. It's all detail coat on a pretty trash car.
Did they pay you when you were over there last week?
Did they pay?
Cinnamon buns.
I had a cinnamon bun where Pan had one. I had Nick bought lunch. Eddie bought lunch.
I was going to say a lot of that depends on the professional. Either you're lucky enough or unlucky enough to encounter.
Yeah, there's the people that do the $100 car washes, and there's the people that do $400 details, and their products are very different.
I'll add, what do y'all think about this? That someone like me and Ricardo and David, Fernando, basically everybody here, you think you would get a better quality detail out of somebody who wants to do it because they love doing it? Because I have my own. I have a career being a conductor for the railroad. Like I don't need customers for shit. But, I tell people, like, I want to detail your car. I don't have to detail your car. So having the passion for doing it, I mean, does that kind of maybe help the situation as far as maybe we doing better quality work than guys that just do it day in, day out? Like,
I think I agree with you there, Franco, because like when I have my detailers at my dealership do a car, I'm constantly pointing out shit that they missed. Like, oh, hey, you gotta fix that, fix this. When I do a car, I take probably 3 times as long as they do, but when I'm done, the car looks freaking mint. I mean, there's nothing. There's not a spot on the car that anyone could point out that I screwed up on. You know what I mean? Because I took the time, and I enjoyed the process, and I did everything with intention and making sure I didn't miss anything. Versus my other guys, they get paid by the car, so they gotta pump them out. So they're gonna try to cut corners, I'm sure, but for the most part, my guys are good. They know what I expect out of my vehicles, even the crappy cars. So but at the same time, when you're busy, they're just looking to pump them out, and their passion's not in it because they're when you do it 9 to 5 nonstop, you even if you have passion for that industry, you tend to lose it, when you're doing it, nonstop, so I can feel it where those guys are at. That yeah, they can be like, I just want let's just get this one in and out of here. Who cares? Yeah.
And there's something to be said for the guys that do it for a living that have way better or more practiced standard operating the SOPs. I mean, some guys
SOPs, yeah.
just knock it out. Yeah, some guys just knock it out crazy, but yeah.
Well, I think Conway's talking about, he has the passion and he does it day in and day out. But I think that goes back to the point I was making, that you can't generalize the professional is better than an enthusiast. A lot of it depends on which professional or which enthusiast.
And I will
And that
say,
particular
Conway,
professional is a dime in a dozen.
yeah, and I will say Conway gets to work on some pretty cool projects as well, which I think helps the passion. I'm talking about guys that got to work on, like I was saying, Kia Fortes and Nissan Altimas all day long. You could have all the passion in the world, but eventually you're gonna be like, this car sucks. Come on, man. Like, if you give them like if I'm giving them a friggin', one of the cars that I work on, like Porsches and Ferraris and stuff. Yeah, your passion might get a little spark at the end there. You know what I mean? But if you're working on trash nonstop, you can lose passion really quick.
So Yugos don't deserve to be cleaned?
No, I didn't say that.
You peasants.
If it's a Nissan Altima, he's not touching it.
When you're dealing with,
you don't get a reach around on those.
Yeah, when you're dealing with a car that's not, because the passion also, when you're working on your own vehicle, whether it be the little Kia Forte or if it's a Porsche, you're gonna have passion because that's your vehicle. But when it's not your vehicle and you're dealing with like the worst of the worst, when I'm talking about some of the cars that we got to deal with, like some of it is pretty nasty, and it's you like I said, when I'm not feeding them any nice cool cars to work on, and you're getting bombarded by 30 cars at once, you tend to lose passion because it becomes it becomes almost like a tunnel wash without being a tunnel wash. You know what I mean? Because if you ever went through a tunnel wash, those guys do not like their life at that point. You know what I mean? It's just like they just want to get the cars out through the tunnel and get it out of there so they can go look on their phone and see what's next on TikTok.
Yeah, and what I was saying that I'm not as good as some of the professionals that are out there, and just to cover myself, I do a really good job on our cars and my friends' cars. Nothing leaves the house, the garage, the driveway that's not in really good condition, and I've gone over it and looked and made sure, and I've walked around it with my son or my son's friend. If there's an issue, we'll fix it, just like David said. I think I do a pretty good job.
I'm sure you do a better job than most.
Yeah. Another good one.
Well, Mr. Gray, we're coming up on the we got
2-hour mark.
hour and 52 minutes. What do you think?
You got to be kidding me. I haven't even eaten dinner yet. I feel like I'm Fernando on a work day.
Is there any questions that we missed in the chats before we go?
Yeah, let's take a look at that. We can answer a few. Well, we got like
7 minutes left.
7 minutes. Let's rock out a couple. If anybody wants to ask any questions, go for it. If not, we'll wrap this up. Somebody asked for Dark Dragon to name every single one of his rinselesses.
Oh, that's another episode. That's another episode. Hey, but I do. Speaking of that, that's a great segue, Franco. Thanks for saying that, because one of the things that we talked about that will probably turn into a broadcast.
I could put a spreadsheet out or something.
Yeah, well, we don't want no damn spreadsheet because we cannot read all those lines on a computer screen video. But we're going to be going through garage by garage of the people that you see here to show you exactly what's going on. And we've got some minimalists. No, we don't. Who we kidding? Just all I can say is, you remember Christie's garage cleanup that Jeff and I helped her with? Just wait. You'll be surprised. So there are
I'm
a
not
couple
that
more.
bad, Greg. Come on.
No, I didn't say you were that bad.
Okay,
I didn't say
right.
any of it was bad. Okay. So here's a couple comments that come in from Panel by Panel podcast. Is great, guys. Thank you, panel. Guardian this is a nice impromptu meeting. He wasn't expecting, and like we've said, we're going to be trying to do these pop-ups every now and then. This is something that Franco put in the sent a text message and said, hey, maybe we should do this. And, I was a little busy. I didn't see it till later on in the afternoon. It was a good idea. And thanks for everybody jumping on tonight. Question for
Corey is the FBI.
Oh. What did you say?
I said Corey is the FBI. He asked Alvin if he added more products to the shelf.
Yeah, well, he doesn't miss too much. Yeah.
Yeah. I
did you?
I did.
Oh, what'd you
Yeah,
add?
he did.
Also, like I said,
that's called flexing.
It wasn't a review. It was just a first impression. So I wasn't trying to sell it. So
Yeah.
hopefully someone,
Alvin, did you
does a
try
better
Invoke
job
yet?
than I did trying to sell that to you guys.
Yeah. And again, I'll say this again. I mentioned this earlier. Don't forget to join Chrissy and David tomorrow night on Christy's podcast.
No, I haven't.
It's going to be a great
Invoke.
one.
That's probably one of the ones I haven't tried, just because we always talked about splitting it up and buying it. But
I got some
around
extra
to it.
coming in from a unknown source. I don't want to mention any names yet, but I can send you some when I get that package in.
And let me see if I can make this work. Dark Dragon, I'm going to put your link. I don't know if you can do it if you're not a mod. And I'm going to put a link. Maybe not. Everyone here, if you could go to @DRKDRAGON, Dark Dragon 525, and sub up. He's doing shorts, and he's got a Sponge Guru video. Everybody go out there, show that man some love.
Yeah.
He's got 20. He's got 20 subscribers right now. We need to bump that up.
Yeah, we'll have either myself or Fernando we put all of the links for the YouTube channels in the description. The description will be updated tomorrow.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Dan will be there.
Thank you, Dan.
The CCC live was outstanding. Greatly appreciate it.
Yeah,
thanks, William.
guys.
We appreciate that,
I just do
man.
it for fun.
Corey said he's the NSA, not the FBI.
The ATF,
yeah. I will say, Corey, that you're going to have some fun in mid to end of summer when Eddie gets all settled out there. Make sure you guys head over there. Quick question here from Christy. Has anyone tried InnovaCar? InnovaCar S3 rinseless.
All I gotta say is, man, that is pungent stuff.
Dark Dragon,
Yes,
you want to take this one?
That is my favorite scented rinseless. And then I got S4 back there.
Does the
even better
new
than
S4
Nemesis?
smell? Does it smell the same as the original S3?
I don't think Dark can hear you, David.
It's okay.
No,
Forget about
S4 has a different scent. It's less stronger.
Oh,
okay.
It's more perfumey, but the S3 was really strong. It smelled like an old Italian man, like
like
the
an
mafia.
Italian, yeah.
like an
I love
Adamo.
using that in the garage.
Yeah.
Is S4 worth buying or S3? Christy, I can send you some. Just send a message.
Yeah, Christy, you don't need to buy it. Somebody will send you some.
Yeah.
I will say that I think it was the S2 that I had that I sent to Hawaii Tim. I mean, that stuff, the scent in that stuff stayed in the bucket for 3 weeks.
Yep.
It just reminded me of Philadelphia back in the day. Anything else? Yum is Corey's favorite smell. Exactly what it smells.
That is the S3, and I love that. It stays in the garage for like days.
Yeah. All right. I think that's it. We will go ahead and I'll end the session. There's going to be a little outro that we play. Stick around. It's about 30 seconds, and we'll talk to you all a little bit later. Thanks for coming in and hanging out with us.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Good night,
See you guys.
everybody.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for listening to Clearcoat Confessions. Just a quick reminder, the opinions and hot takes expressed by our guests today are entirely their own and don't necessarily reflect the views of the hosts. Detailing involves heavy tools and strong chemicals, so if you try any of the techniques or products we talked about today, you do so at your own risk.